Went yard in every game in the Mississippi State Series last weekend.
Yeah, she's been coming on strong. She had herself on a good leverage count at 2-1. And that's just the 5th home run of the year that Mac Morgan has given up.
Grounder to good. And side retired, but Gibson sends one out, 2-0. Tennessee.
All of her pitches that she gets the swing and miss on.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, she set the record fastest pitch ever recorded at over 78 miles an hour. You talk about, for years the standard was 70, and that's the reaction time for a batter that's equivalent to a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in baseball. So now she ups it. It's the equivalent to a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in baseball. Not much time to react in that batter's box.
No, absolutely not. And that's going to be the chore for Texas, is trying to pick a speed to sit on, and that's where it's very difficult because she blends that drop ball low in the zone really, really well with that off speed. And then, oh, by the way, she also throws a rise ball up at your eyeballs.
Here's Ashton Maloney in the leadoff, the 1-2 pitch. Got her. Caught looking, one down.
Well, Maloney does not strike out often and is just going to see a pitch on the outer half. That one's up in the zone. Maloney lays off of it. Pitch the first strikeout of the game for Pickens.
Got her with the rise. Here's Caden Henry. Tried to lay down the bunt, pops it foul. 1 through 5 or 6. I mean, you're not going to find many lineups better than this one for Texas. Mia Scott drove in one of the runs last night, playing in her 230th game today. And she is in that on-deck circle here behind Caden Henry. Batting .482 for this offense. 5 players hit better than 400 and also have an on-base percentage of better than 500. Nice snag at second. Ella Dodge has it, 2 down.
And that's a nice AB for Caden Henry to get barreled up, drive that ball.
Mia top 5 all-time at Texas. Batting average, hits, runs scored, runs driven in. She'd be in the Longhorns all-time starting 9. Pickens is coming out smoking. 7 of the first 8 pitches have been strikes. Scott. And a 9-pitch start for Pickens. 2-0 Tennessee through 1. Two down. Destiny Rodriguez gets the start as the DP today for Tennessee. Junior out of Live Oak, Texas. Hit .261 last year. It's up to .378 this year. This is a Tennessee team that's hungry. They have had the success in the regular season. Were in the World Series a couple years ago, then got knocked out prematurely last year as the number 3 seed at home. They fell to Alabama in the Supers. Both these programs will be hunting their first national championship this postseason. They've come close. 8 times to the World Series for the Lady Vols. Rodriguez, opposite, foul.
We could tell that Tennessee is really looking for that low pitch. You know that's what you're going to get. A little bit of a curve, that pitch. Moving away from righties. Morgan doesn't really throw that into the lefties. 4 of the 9 hitters for Tennessee are left-handed.
She hit 70 miles an hour on that last pitch.
Yeah, she's got good
Nibbles.
velo as well.
And does not
And that's
get
another
the call.
walk that
yes.
Tennessee is. I think they're so ingrained in not realizing what their ball count is.
Second walk issued by Morgan. The one in the first inning came in to score.
And again, that's walks 11 and 12 on the year. That's it. Morgan is typically pretty steady Eddie after throwing just 3 pitches to pick up the first 2 outs. The walk to Rodriguez is going to extend the inning.
Ella Dodge, the 9-hitter, comes up, and Patty Ruth Taylor will go out to talk with Morgan.
And I'm sure it's a little bit of strategy, but it's also trying to figure out the strike zone. Not getting some of those pitches on the outer half. Have to figure out where she needs to put the ball in order to get that swing, use that defense behind her. Right now she's at a almost 50% split balls to strikes. We typically like to be right around 63, 64% strikes to about 33% or so balls.
Dodge was 0 for 3 in the game last night. Has 1 hit so far in SEC play.
Tennessee making some defensive changes over the last couple games to try to get some better defense behind Pickens. Not a lot of places for Mac Morgan to hide if she's not going to get that outside drop ball. Ooh, and I think Reese Atwood now trying to figure out a little bit of a smile there. I think a lot of people are wondering where that pitch is missing.
Certainly appeared to be nibbling at the corner. Dodge skies that out towards Stewart into the shade, has it. Side retired. 1 left on, 2-0 Tennessee. That's why she was an All-American last year and the SEC's Pitcher of the Year.
Just a sophomore last year as the SEC Pitcher of the Year. I mean, really has been the ace of the staff this year, without a doubt. Had a little more help last year, a younger pitching staff around her.
There you see how she compares with Monica Abbott, and then, you know, the speed burners in Major League Baseball with Chapman and Ben Joyce.
Yep.
Reese Atwood has to get there quickly, and Pickens on the comebacker, 1 down.
Well, Ben Joyce also is a Tennessee Volunteer. Set some pretty good records in Tennessee.
Yeah. There's Jolie Mitchell, senior from Rosebud, Arkansas. This part of the order did not see Pickens yesterday, so we talked to Karen Weekly pregame, and the thinking yesterday, for those of you who were watching that might have been scratching your heads when Pickens was pulled after the first inning, as Mitchell golfs that one out onto the grass, 2 down. So the thinking was, we get through the top of the order once, and then we let the other pitchers have a go at it. You're facing an All-American pitcher on the other side in Tegan Cavan. Maybe we steal game 1. That didn't work. So now the strategy becomes, let's throw her today and win game 2, and then it's anybody's ball game tomorrow in game 3.
Exactly, and also giving the opportunity for some of the younger pitchers on the Tennessee pitching staff to not have to start the game, the nerves, everything that comes with it. Yep. And it also gives their offense the top of the first, the top of the second to try to get something done before they have to make a decision on who comes back out in the bottom of the second inning.
Here's Katie Stewart at the plate. You may not like it. You may not agree with it. You may have wished we saw Kavan versus Pickens for 7 innings or more in the All-America matchup, but just a glimpse inside what they thought process was, and not just trying to win one game, but win a series. And we'll see if it plays out that way. They got the 2-0 lead right now. Stewart rips one out to center, and right there waiting is Kinsey Fiedler. Pickens retiring 6 in a row to open it up tonight. Osterman that went to the World Series 3 times.
Yep.
They've been oh so close, denied twice in the last 4 years by Oklahoma in the finals. May be their best chance to do it.
Yeah, when you're comparing teams to teams when Cat Osterman was in the circle, I mean, you
That's
know
always
you're pretty
big.
good.
Always big. Cats in town today. They're promoting the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, which has its opening day on June 7th. They'll be traveling around the country. We're going to chat with Bella Dayton, one of the players here at Texas that is now in the league.
Yeah, Cat Osterman is the GM of the team that Kelly Crutchman is the head coach of. So a lot of the big names in the sport still involved.
A lot of the big retired names involved.
Exactly.
And then what's going to be cool, Michelle, is a lot of those players may be vying for Olympic spots in 2028 in Los Angeles.
Well, opportunities for them to continue to play beyond the college game, and that's really what you need. I mean, most athletes, they're so good in college. A lot of the technical advancements have been made at the game at this level, but you really don't reach your maturity until you're in your late 20s, early 30s in this sport.
Morgan hits into the shift, and that is the left fielder, Katie Stewart, playing short and staying down on it.
Exactly, staying down on it. Katie Stewart normally taking those ground balls, and so take a look at how the defense is shifted around. This ball slapped hard right at her. Good job of making sure she stays down. Almost drops the knee like she's out on the grass.
I don't believe I've ever written in my scorebook 7-3 as the put out there, but the left fielder on the dirt getting it done.
That's right.
So they've shifted now on a slapper, and they've shifted on a power hitter.
Yep.
The analytics really have taken over a much larger role in softball and in this world, just like in baseball. Fiedler got under it. Henry gets under it. 2 down.
Third baseman, number 3, Taylor Pannell.
Taylor Pannell grounded to second base her first time up.
Pannell's done such a good job this year increasing that batting average. 13 home runs on the year. That's more than the last 2 years combined.
Having a real breakout season. With the home run hitter Boo Gibson on deck, Morgan has not allowed a hit since that Gibson home run back in the first.
When we talked to Coach Weekly about Pannell, she basically said she's just really comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Earlier in her career, she wanted to swing earlier in the counts. Maybe wasn't quite pitching or hitting, the pitches that she wanted to. And so now that she's more comfortable with that ability to hit with 2 strikes, the numbers are just, look at that, just off the charts. The home runs well up, RBIs up, batting average
way up.
Way up.
Confidence is perhaps the best skill to obtain, and she's got it. 2-0. Oklahoma winner today over Alabama. They scored 5 runs in the 7th inning to rally to beat the Tide, so they stay 1 game behind Texas And Texas A&M also a win today. They win the series with LSU, so they are right behind as well, as Florida wins today and moves up into 4th place. Panel walks, and here comes the home run swag of Boo Gibson.
Boo Gibson with just so much power, hitting from that right side, gets an elevated drop ball that she just drives out of the yard. You can see that. That was the swing that Tennessee needed after being shut out last night.
And we will have a pitching change here. Morgan will not face Gibson again. Setlali Gutierrez, their ace out of the pen, will come on. Pitching change in Austin with Tennessee in front 2-0 and threatening for more. But it was a home run ball to Gibson with a runner on due to a walk.
Well, Morgan being heavy down just doesn't have the mix of tools that Gutierrez has to be able to throw to a completely different strike zone if need be, if they're not getting calls low in the zone. And sometimes, that's part of the recipe of being a good pitcher, is that if you're not getting a pitch called, you've got to be able to go somewhere else to be successful.
Popped up. That could be problematic. And over the shoulder, the scoop catch made by Mitchell. And that ends the threat. Gibson retired. Still 2-0, Lady Vols.